In this video, we're giving you 10 awesome things about the DJI Mini 3 Pro. These are the things that I consider the best features of this little tiny drone. And no, it's not perfect, so when you're done this video, if you want, check out my video on 10 things that aren't so great about this little drone. So let's dive into number 10, and the first one is obstacle avoidance and the addition of sensors on the Mini 3 Pro, which it did not have on the Mini 2. So this is a big one for a lot of people. There's just a lot of confidence when you're flying. Do note that that option does completely disappear when you're flying in sport mode, so be careful of that. But yeah, it just adds a sense of stability to your flight, and if you are a new drone pilot, this is a fantastic feature. Number 9 is the speed of this drone. This drone is incredibly fast, going about 50 kilometers an hour. It can get where you're going real quick, and it's also pretty darn good in the wind, in my experience. It does handle the wind, and yeah, you might not want to be flying in crazy conditions, but if you did get caught with a little bit of wind behind you or in front of you or whatever, then just know that this thing's going to handle it pretty darn well. And a lot better than, let's say, the Mini 2 or the Mini 1. It just feels a lot better handling and a bit more confident up in the air. Number 8 is going to be the addition of new battery options, and this is pretty cool. Depending on where you live, they might have more strict laws than other places, but if you have a full-out drone license or it doesn't apply to you, know that you can get two options, one for about 34-minute flight time and an extended battery, which claims to give about 47 minutes of flight time. Now, real-world numbers, of course, is going to depend on the situation that you're in. I find with the typical normal battery that I get about 25 minutes of real world flight time. And it's a pretty cool thing that you actually have that option now. Do be aware, however, that the bigger batteries do come at the cost of bringing this little drone over the 250 gram limit, which makes this not flyable in a lot of scenarios in a lot of countries. So if you are very limited in that capacity, maybe stick with the regular batteries, but if you do go out, maybe you want to have one or the Fly More combo or something, yeah, you've got some options. Number 7 is durability, and this is one that I can speak to the Mini series in general. It's really not your drone until you've crashed it, am I right? So yeah, of course, at some point you're probably gonna crash your drone if you're getting shots that are worth anything in my experience. And yes, I've already crashed this thing, and it was luckily right in front of me. It did kind of go a bit squirrely on me. I don't really attribute it to user error, but who knows, right? Anyways, this thing doesn't weigh a ton, and in which case it doesn't have a ton of inertia, so it pretty much was fine. I dusted it right off. I got it back in the air. It did have a little bit of a calibration thing going on there for a while, but so far so good. So yeah, I can speak to the durability of this little drone as with a couple of the other smaller drones that I've definitely crashed in the past. And yeah, that gets a check mark as well. Number 6 is the controller options, and this is pretty neat too. We now have the addition of the RC controller, which has the built-in screen right there, and this is a fantastic addition. I love the fact that I don't have to use my phone or have it occupied. I can still have that doing whatever if need be, but now you can get this thing up even faster, not have to jumble with cords, and it's a great option at a reasonable price. If you're not into that, or if you do have the original RCN one that came with the Mini 2, which you're gonna keep, it does work with that controller as well. So more options are always better, and in terms of controllers, yes, you've got some more options. Number 5 is the ease of use of this drone. And I'm happy to tell you that whether you're a seasoned vet or a beginner, this thing's gonna perform great, and it's really, really easy to fly. DJI has done a great job at streamlining the overall experience, the app, and yeah, it's pretty much a no-brainer. You get it up there and just fine-tune your controls a bit depending on how you like to fly it. But yes, it's very comfortable, and the ease of use for anybody to learn pretty quickly is very, very good. Number 4 is the addition of 10-bit recording for video, and this is fantastic. This is gonna give us a lot more flexibility in post. Of course, it's gonna give you a bigger file size, but for real true hardcore video guys and lovers of editing of all kinds, this is just a great addition and something that I don't think they were gonna throw in, and they did at the last minute. So a fantastic addition, DJI. I commend you for that, and another reason why this thing is awesome. Number 3 is all the features packed into this thing, and I mean quick shots, I mean new quick shots, I mean HDR photo bracketing, panorama mode, hyperlapses, master shots. Things that they were seeming to save for some of the more expensive drones can now be found in the Mini series, which is just fantastic. These are among my favorite things to do in this drone. It just makes it really quick and really easy. And if you're not a professional drone pilot, or if you don't have a ton of experience, it's gonna make you look like you do really, really easily and intuitively.
And here's an example of one of the newer quick shots they added called the Meteor, and this is just a really cool cinematic sequence that anybody can do, even if you're brand new. Just hit a few buttons and get some awesome looking footage like this.
Number 2 is the image quality and the overall package that you get out of this thing. We have a new, bigger sensor, we've got better dynamic range, the sharpness is fantastic. It's just a great improvement over the Mini 2. So in terms of image quality, yes, 2 big thumbs up in terms of what you're getting out of this thing. You can't compare it to bigger drones with bigger sensors, of course, but it is a massive upgrade over its predecessor. And I think, again, trending in a very, very good direction for what these tiny little drones can do. I'm very impressed. And number 1, the thing that I definitely wanted to see added to a Mini drone, and we got it, is the addition of active tracking. And it does not disappoint. I have been so blown away at what this thing can do in terms of active tracking. It's a lot of fun, and honestly, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So a huge thumbs up again for the active tracking of this drone. It just makes it really versatile and kind of a one-click set it and forget it kind of thing if you're bike riding, if you're a runner, or if you're doing any kind of really cool activities. Well, it's gonna keep up with you just fine, and because it's so fast, you can even do it with really fast sports and whatnot as well. So a huge, awesome feature that I am so happy to see in this thing.
And here's a test that I did riding my bike to show you exactly what this thing can do. If you do want to check out my video on active tracking for this drone and my thoughts so far, I'll link that above. But here's a few quick examples to show you just what this thing's capable of. Really blew me away, and I honestly couldn't be happier with it at this point. A few things worth mentioning, however, it does work quite a bit better when your subject is moving quite quickly. For slower subjects, it can be a little bit jittery, so do keep that in mind. And for most people, I don't really think that's a problem. As long as you're moving at a decent pace, whether you're hiking or biking or what have you, you should be just fine. Also, there is several different modes, including active track, parallel, and point of interest, and that's nice to have some variety depending on what you're doing. Overall, I think this drone has a lot of what most people are looking for. Of course, it's not perfect, and we will get into a little bit of that in my future videos, of course. But as you can see here, and with everything in this video, I think for the most part, it's a clear winner in my book.
And there are my 10 favorite things about the DJI Mini 3 Pro. And yeah, should you buy it? Should you not? Well, make sure you check out my video on the 10 things that are not so great about this drone if you want, before you make your decision. If I've sold you on this thing and you want to pick it up, I'll drop affiliate links down below, guys. And thanks so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, join the community, and like always, make mistakes, be yourself, and get out there and take some more pictures. See you next time.